Now, once you have the Smart Art, it's very easy to change to a different style. Let me select the Smart Art again, and we'll go back to our layouts, and I could change to different shapes, change to a radial. Oh, that looks horrible. Change to a gear, change to the matrix chart. If you want to go completely to a new category, click More Layouts, and you can change to list charts, process charts, hierarchy charts, relationship charts, matrix charts, or pyramid charts. Now, with 80 different styles, it would take 14 DVDs for me to show them all to you. So let me show you a few of my favorites. Sit back while I go to the examples worksheet. This is called a trapezoid list. Now remember I talked about level 1 and level 2 text. These shapes have room for a headline at the top, that's the level 1 text, and then room for bullet points underneath the headline, that's called level 2 text. Again, this is just like the outline view in PowerPoint. If you need to promote something from level 1 to level 2, you can just use the tab or back tab keys. If I click on 3C, the back tab key, it now becomes level 1 text and it is worthy of its own shape. See? Very, very easy to add new level 2 text, new level 1 text, or to change text from being level 1 to level 2. Now let's page down and look at the next style. This is called a target list. Basically, on the right-hand side, we have very basic white blocks with large level 1 text and several bullets of level 2 text. But on the left-hand side, we have this great-looking graphic. Now let's page down and look at the next style. Now, about 10% of the layouts have these accent pictures. You would click the accent picture and choose any picture from your computer, and Excel will force it to fit in the shape. This is great for illustrating your Smart Art, but I have to warn you about one thing. Make sure that you have the proper layout selected before you add your pictures. If you change from one layout to the next, Excel will forget what pictures you selected, and you'll have to reselect them. I'll hit page down to look at the next. This was added at the very last minute. I had several versions of the Excel 2007 beta, and this was one of the last ones they added. It's really cool how it works. It's the pro-con balance scale, but the shape actually changes in response to how many items are on each side. Let me show you how that works. We'll click on the Smart Art. You'll notice that there are 2 items of level 1 text, pro and con. Now those could be any words you wanted. I just used pro and con. It happens that pro has 2 items of level 2 text and con has 3 items of level 2 text. If I would add one new level 2 underneath pro, the items are now equally balanced and the scale is flat. Go down and take the con item. I'll hit backspace, backspace, backspace. There are now more pros than cons, and the whole graphic tips to the left. This is pretty slick. You're limited to only 3 shapes on either side, so you can have 0, 1, 2, or 3, but a great way to get your point across, trying to show some sort of a decision point. So let me hit page down. We'll take a look at the pyramid chart. Pyramids are pretty interesting because they can expand in most cases. If I choose this chart and add more items, Excel keeps expanding the pyramid. Now there's a few types of Smart Art shapes that are limited in the number of bullet points they can have. One of the other pyramid charts is one of those that's limited, so let's go change to that type. I have the Smart Art selected. I need to go to the Design ribbon, choose Layouts, and choose the Segmented Pyramid. Now this pyramid works great if you happen to have 1, 4, or 9 items. If you have anything in between, Excel will have to leave blank spaces in the middle of the pyramid. Looks kind of crazy. Again, it's great if you have perfectly 1 or 4 or 9 elements. Other layouts that are limited are the gear chart, the funnel chart. And I'll scroll up. When I choose funnel, it says on the right-hand side that there can only be 4 lines of level text. Unused text does not appear. If I choose that type and click OK, you'll see that my first 4 shapes appear in the diagram. The other shapes continue in the text pane, but they have the red X. Now, because of privacy concerns, Microsoft does not want to store anything with this workbook that you don't know is there. And when you click away, you might forget that items 5, 6, and 7 are there. They remain tied to the Smart Art while the workbook is open. But once you've saved and closed the workbook, Microsoft will go through and delete items 5, 6, and 7. So if you accidentally select a style that doesn't have enough room, you need to immediately go back and choose a style that will accommodate all of those shapes. SmartArt is very, very cool. I can imagine lots of great presentations that will be made where people will use SmartArt to show a relationship or a process. I only have one really minor complaint with SmartArt, and that's that all of the text in SmartArt is static. I mean, we have Excel here, we can do calculations. It would be wonderful if the text for the SmartArt could come from the cells on the worksheet. Now, I understand in PowerPoint and Word this isn't a necessary feature, and I think that Microsoft really believes that this is a PowerPoint feature. They just sort of added it to Excel as maybe a novelty. However, we've come up with a great way to work around this, to create SmartArt where the text from the SmartArt actually comes from the cells.